Before you move to Branson, there's one thing that you absolutely need to understand. And honestly, this is one of the biggest concerns that I hear from people that are relocating. What is the healthcare actually like? Because yeah, Branson is growing. It's still a smaller city, but there are a few things about healthcare here that I think might surprise you, especially if you're coming from a bigger metro area. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what you can expect, where everything is located, and one thing that most people don't realize until after they've moved here. Stick around. Hey, what's going on, you guys? I'm Jason with Great Branson Homes, and on this channel, we cover what it's really like living, working, and moving to Branson, Missouri. And if you're thinking about relocating here, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. I appreciate it. Also, I put together a free Branson relocation guide. If that's something that would be of value to you, you can check that out down in the description below. All right, so let's get into what healthcare actually looks like here in Branson. So first off, even though Branson is kind of a smaller city, it actually serves as a regional hub for healthcare. You've got people coming in from all over Taney County, Stone County, even parts of northern Arkansas that are using Branson for their medical needs. So for everyday healthcare, things like doctor visits, urgent care, hospital services, you're actually pretty well covered here. But where this can feel a little different, especially if you're coming from like a metro area, is how everything is spread out. Instead of having major hospitals and specialists all over the city, most of your healthcare here is kind of centralized. And once you understand where everything is, it actually becomes pretty easy to navigate. But that's also where some of the trade-offs come in, and we'll get into that here in just a minute. So the main hospital here in Branson is going to be Cox Medical Center downtown. This is your full service hospital. So we're talking emergency room, heart care, women's health, imaging. Really, I think most of your core medical needs are handled right here locally. And for a lot of people moving here, this is where you're going to establish their primary care as well. Now, one thing you'll notice pretty quickly is that a lot of the medical offices, the clinics are centered around this hospital, especially along Highway 248. So you'll have your doctor, your imaging, your lab work, sometimes even specialists, all within just a few minutes of each other. And honestly, once you get used to that setup, it's actually pretty convenient compared to driving all over a bigger city. But again, it's going to be a little more centralized, so you won't have quite as many options as you would in, say, like a larger metro area. Now, if it's not an emergency, you've got several urgent care options around town. Cox has quite a few urgent cares all throughout the city. Mercy's got a really nice newer facility as well. And this is honestly where a lot of people end up going for day-to-day issues. So if you wake up sick, or if you've got something minor like a sprain, infection, or just need to be seen quickly, this is usually going to be your fastest route. And this is actually one area where Branson does a really good job, because you don't feel like you're lacking access for those everyday situations. In a bigger city, you might be waiting hours fighting traffic trying to get across town. Here in Branson, it's a lot more straightforward. And this is something that I think a lot of people don't realize. There's also a VA clinic located here in Branson. So for veterans, you do have access to primary care services locally. Now, it's not a full hospital, but it does handle routine care, and then it ties into the larger VA system for anything more advanced. So depending on your situation, that could actually be a very important piece of the puzzle. Beyond that, there are quite a few primary care doctors, specialists, imaging centers, things like that, located all throughout Branson and even into Hollister. And a lot of these are tied into either Cox or Mercy. So once you're in that system, it becomes pretty easy to get referrals, schedule follow-ups, and kind of stay within one network. Now, one thing to keep in mind is this is pretty common in smaller cities. Sometimes it can take a little longer to get in with certain specialists depending on demand. So that's just something to be aware of, especially if you're used to having a lot of options in a bigger city. And this is a big one, especially for people that are thinking about relocating here. Branson has really grown as a retirement destination, so there are quite a few assisted living communities, independent living, and 55 and up housing options. And what's nice is a lot of these are located close to medical facilities, shopping, and everything that you need day to day. So for people planning long term or thinking ahead about healthcare access,
That's going to be something that actually works really well here.
And this is one of the reasons why Branson attracts so many retirees and downsizers, because you can really simplify your lifestyle while still being able to have access to the care that you need. Now, here's the part that most people don't really hear about until after they move here.
If you need something very specialized or more advanced medical care, you may end up going to Springfield. Now, that's about 45 minutes north of Branson, and that's where you'll find larger hospitals, more specialists, and more advanced treatment options. Now, for some people, that might sound like a downside, but honestly, this is pretty common in smaller cities, and most people find that for the type of lifestyle that you're moving here for, that trade off is completely worth it.
But it's something that I always want people to understand up front so that there's no surprises later. But here's the thing, for most people moving here, this actually ends up not ever being a problem at all. For your everyday healthcare, you've got a solid hospital here in Branson. You've got urgent care options, you've got primary care and specialists if you need them, and then Springfield is always there if you need something more advanced. So when you really look at the full picture, I think most people find that the healthcare setup works really well for them, especially for the lifestyle that they're moving here for. It's just about understanding how it works before you get here. Healthcare is one of the biggest concerns that people do consider before moving. So I'm just curious, what is your biggest concern? Is it healthcare? Is it cost of living? Or is it just figuring out where to live? Leave me a comment down below. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this video, you guys. If you are thinking about relocating to Branson, again, make sure you check out our all-new Branson relocation guide. Down in the description, there's a link for that. I'll also put it in the pinned comments for you. All right. Take care, you guys. I'll see you in the next video. I'm Jason with Great Branson Homes. Follow for the local truth and not the hype.